So I had to do a minute meeting with just myself. And I was like, how do you do a minute meeting with just yourself? But I was able to look back at my notes from school and figure it out. So it worked out perfect.
Welcome back to the Entrepreneurial Leap podcast. I am your host, Shawnette Stokes, and today we have Miss DeQuisha Bullock. Welcome to today's episode. Miss Bullock, can you please tell the audience who you are and what you do?
Yes, thank you so much. My name is DeQuisha Bullock. I own a tax office called All Tax Association.
Yes. So, welcome to the show. To kick off our conversation, could you please tell us a little bit about your journey so far?
Yes. So I started my journey with tax in 2016. I started preparing family, friends, taxes. Started out only charging like $75. I think I was a bit nervous. Really believe in myself, but they believed in me. I was really good with numbers and preparing taxes because one of my sisters actually worked at a tax office. So she used to help me
Nice.
how to actually prepare.
So, how long have you been doing taxes?
I've been doing it since 2016. So what is that? 6 or 7 years?
Oh, wow. That's a very long time. So you've managed to successfully balance a full-time job while building your own business. How do you manage this balance and what advice do you have for others that are in a similar situation?
I think the full time that I've been doing taxes, I actually been a full time employee because I actually started my career in 2016 as well. It is a tough balance trying to juggle working full time
Yeah.
and also, running a business and starting one.
Yes.
I think that the motivation behind it is that if you can go work for someone else's company and give it your all, then you could give your all to your company as well.
Yeah. When I started practicing, I was doing it's called attorney doc review. So you're going to another law firm and just going and sitting down at a table or at a desk. Sometimes it is a table and with the computer, and you're going through all of the documents and seeing if those documents are relevant. I was spending so much time working on those people's businesses. I'm like, I can do the same thing for my business. Why not? So when
Yes.
you start to see how much dedication you have for another person's business, then you realize you can shift that energy onto your own because it's easy when you think of it that way. So I love that. I agree. It's very challenging to manage the two, but it is certainly doable. Do you do the taxes, I guess, right after work? So when you're having conversations with your clients, are you meeting them right after work or on your break or on your 9 to 5?
I mostly do it after work because of the way my schedule is. Most like once I get off work, a lot of my clients they just send their information over to me.
Oh, okay.
Do it like late at night or during that downtime. The clients that I have to meet like in person, like kind of meeting at Starbucks or something, then those are on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays.
Good. So, with a degree in economics and a background in accounting, how does your academic foundation support your entrepreneurial ventures?
I think the main part is that it allowed me to understand like numbers, which everyone hates, and also how to run a business because you do take a lot of business classes. And I was studying for those degrees. Like for an example, I had a big project one time, like how to create a business plan, 20 pages.
Mm,
So that gave me the experience that if for some reason I ever need a business plan, I would know how. They also had me create like a minute meeting, which a lot of people wouldn't know unless you're taking those business classes and they'll teach you because when I was trying to open a bank account at Chase, I had messed up the way I registered my LLC or my corporation.
mhm.
Sorry. So I had to do a minute meeting with just myself. And I was like, how do you do a minute meeting with just yourself? But I was able to look back at my notes from school and figure it out. So it worked out perfect.
Can you tell the audience what a minute meeting is?
Yes. So it's something where if you're having a meeting and you would have each person doing something different, you'll have someone like doing the minute meeting where they would take the notes. So the meeting is from like 2 to 3, then it'd be like at 2:05, maybe Miss Stokes spoke and said something. So just keep track of what was discussed at those times.
So, your company is a corporation. So, you had to do your shareholders' meetings. They wanted to see the meeting minutes from your shareholder and your board of directors meetings.
Since I have a corporation, I had did my name wrong, like when I registered.
Okay.
Like my first name where my last name was supposed to be. So they wanted for me to do a minute meeting to show that I'm the only owner of the corporation. It was really like every line was like, DeQuisha said this at this time. It was like the most,
You were talking to yourself, basically.
yeah. I guess I wouldn't have known if I never did one before and I'm just kind of
Right.
using it. I would have been all over the place. As I did it in school, I was just like, okay, this is a no brainer.
Good. So school taught you how to get through and
Yes.
pass through the hurdles of entrepreneurship, because that is something that most people don't really understand, that you're going to have hurdles and you can lean on your education for that. That's really good. So, can you walk us through the steps you took to start your business back in 2016, and what challenges did you face and how did you overcome them?
So when I first started it, I just started telling people. I did my own. That was the first step. I did my own. And then my sister actually, she the one that taught me, but she still allowed me to do her taxes that year. So she gave me that strength and encouragement, like, oh, I can do it. And then I started doing everyone around me. And once I did so many that year, which it was probably like maybe 10 or 12 people, I can't remember the exact number, but I had the confidence. I was like, oh, I can do this. There was no issues. No one's going crazy. Everyone got their money,
Yeah.
happy. And I think that the hardest part was like starting out so cheap. And then
Yeah.
over the years, I have to go up because, of course,
Mhm.
I started out at charging people only $75. And then, like, now this year, it's like years, price. Everything goes up, price change. And I think sometimes the hardest part is because you may have got a big refund, but then you also got to pay more for your tax fees versus
Mhm.
when I was only charging 75, they was getting a large amount. So I think just more of charging people. I think that's my hardest part.
Knowing your worth, yeah, and actually being able to explain that to people.
Yeah, because it's also once they're already in the system. When I first did them, it may have took me like an hour doing everything, but now I have everything. You're my customer. It could probably only take 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think that I'll be like, oh, that's nothing. And I'll quoted them, like just kind of, I think that's the toughest part. It's just like the fees and trying to align everything together.
Yeah. Listen, I suffer from that too, because as a business owner, we're building processes and we're doing the same things over and over again. So the time it takes for us to do something initially may not take so long now. You're charging them for your skills, for your experience, for your know how, and for the ease of it all. You're giving them a convenience, something that they wouldn't have to worry about doing. So when you fix your mindset on that, it's easier to have a conversation with them about your prices, because much like you said, you're confident in your services, you're confident in your skills. So with that same confidence, you're able to articulate how skillful and knowledgeable you are in taxes. So yeah, it is a growing pain, so to speak, because at first you're like, I don't know if I can charge, if I can go up on my prices. And how are they going to feel when I do go up on my prices? Are they going to buck back? Maybe, but that is not on you. It's on them. And the time that they come back, if they do come back, and if the prices are increased at that time, if they cannot afford you, they may have to go to someone else. And that's not on you. It's just a matter of them not being able to afford you. I know I save up for quality. Don't you?
Yes.
Right? So people will see your worth. If they can't afford you today, they will see your worth and they will likely save up or come back to you when they can afford you.
Okay.
And that's how that works.
Yes.
So, what do you believe are the most important qualities for an entrepreneur to have and why?
I think what's most important is number one, customer service,
Yes.
because of people pay for what they want and they also pay.
Hmm.
It's so wrapped around. Time people would say like, "Oh, I don't do business with black business because of the service is not good." It's just so much negativity all wrapped around it already. So just providing great customer service is always good because people are gonna come back, word of mouth, and that's kind of how you continue to keep business and get more business by providing great customer service. I think
Yeah.
that's most important.
Absolutely. We were talking about that offline. In order for you to retain clients, you have to know how to talk to them and also be empathetic, because sometimes they are having feelings too that we may not understand and we haven't experienced, but we still need to be empathetic enough to put ourselves in their shoes and understand that, because sometimes you'll have clients that get upset for whatever reason. And it's probably not anything that you have done. It's probably something that took them over the ledge.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that it's not a you issue. It's something that they're dealing with internally that you can't even fix. So what you can do is make sure that the services that you're offering are of quality. And if that time comes that they do get upset about, say, a miscommunication, you have that skill set of customer service to be able to talk them off that ledge, because sometimes they will go over the ledge because they need that one, what, the 13th reason
Yeah.
to go there. And having that customer service skill can draw them off the ledge. So that is really good. So in your journey of setting up your own tax office, how important was it for you to understand the legal side of business? And can you share any lessons that you've learned in this area?
I think that it was more important to understand the legal side is because like people can screw you over basically in this
Mhm.
business. When I first started doing it, I was trusting that I'd be like, once I prepare somebody taxes, I have to wait for me to get my money. Even if they get like audit, you still owe because I did the survey.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they'll get they may owe the IRS and they
Mhm.
don't share that with me, and then the IRS will take the money and it's I don't get paid, and they feel like, oh, I don't owe you, but you still owe me. I think that I would want to put something in place where I'm still able to get my money because then people, run off and feel like they don't have to pay you, and then I gotta take that loss. I think
Mhm.
that's the biggest mistake I made is just diving in, doing this stuff so quick. Happy that I know how to
Yeah.
do taxes and help people.
I'm
That
happy that you got clients.
yeah,
You know?
I forgot that like it's still some people out there in the world that will screw you over.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that because if it's sometimes that people get their taxes taken and they really just not really give a sob story, but let me know what's going on and make me feel like
Mhm.
they care, then I may be like, it's okay. Like I'll bite the bullet. Just
Mhm.
providing a great customer service, like it's okay. But then it's
Yeah.
like, you just absolutely don't care and feel like, oh, they took it. I
Mm.
don't owe me anything. That's where I feel like I should have something legal in place. Um,
Yeah.
the business.
Absolutely. Much like any other service provider, I would say get a contract because you're providing a service and they owe you money. I know with my CPA, yes, whenever he prepares my taxes, he'll send me a bill after. So if I don't pay, then he doesn't get paid,
Yeah.
right? And he doesn't get paid out of my tax. And especially as business owners, slowly but surely, you start not getting a tax return.
Yes.
I just don't even look forward to tax season now. It's always a bill on top of a bill. I got
Yes.
a bill from the IRS, I got a bill from the CPA. It's just bills in tax. So, yes, I would say most certainly get a contract because you don't know whether or not you're going to get paid
Yes.
unless you get paid up front for the service, and that could maybe change whether or not you have to fight folks for paying you back, because it sucks to have to chase people for money,
It is.
especially if you've done a service. I've gone to court for people and I've had people still owe me money as if I'm not working for them. So yeah, it happens. And you just have to put measures in place in your business to protect yourself, because people are people and sometimes they're not kind. And you have to protect yourself at all costs. You can't trust everybody, unfortunately. So, could you talk about funding your business? How did you initially fund your company, of course, while working full time? And what tips can you give to new entrepreneurs about securing funding?
Yes. So when I initially started All Tax Association, I was able to fund it by, of course, my job because I was still
Mhm.
working full time. And also, what I did is when I was doing taxes for that first year, I didn't use none of that money. So I made
Mm.
about almost like $5,000 or something. So
Wow.
I saved it. And so that the next year, I'll be able to, if I was able to encounter anything like in 2017, then I'll have those fundings. I think that the biggest thing with business, how to fund it, is credit cards. I was able to leverage getting a lot of credit cards by fixing my personal credit, and that allowed for me to get approved for business credit. And then after 2 years, that's when they slowly just leaned on only my business credit.
Nice. Do you have a particular credit card company that you would suggest?
I think the best one is Chase, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, my,
Which
my first,
Chase credit card do you have?
the unlimited.
Is it the Freedom Unlimited?
It's the Ink Unlimited.
Oh, Business Inc. Yes.
Yes, this is Ink
I
Unlimited.
have that one too. I like it.
Yeah.
So I use for my business, I use Chase Inc. And then I also use American Express Business Platinum.
That's what I got. But I think I ended up getting the Delta because the
Mm,
fee was only 250 instead of, I believe it was like the other one's gonna be 550.
yep.
Doing the Delta just saved a little extra money. It helps.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, I wanted to travel more and I wanted to use the points because a lot of people don't realize that you can collect points on these credit cards. So, if you are utilizing your credit card to pay off your expenses and just pay that off based on the income that you receive in your business, you're now accumulating points for leisure stuff. So you can buy things from it, you can travel, and there's so many offers for travel with those cards, both of them. And these are not sponsored conversations, but I have had a good experience with both of them, Chase and Amex. So that was a really good tip. How has your experience in the corporate world influenced the way you run your business?
I think it's just based on understanding that when sometimes like working for a corporation as well as starting my own corporation, I understand when to steer back because of course everything that you do is money. When I started doing taxes, but then I started with something where I help people start their own business and
Mhm.
this year teaching them how to get their own business credit. But I had to steer back.
Why?
I think it's just more so I was losing focus of my own.
Yeah.
And then I'll just, a lot of times too, where I'll just help people and give a whole bunch of information sometime. And then I forget to even charge the fee. And now I'm like, oh,
Mm.
'cause I did start something where for 101 you have to pay me $100, but then I had somewhere 15-minute free consultation. But it's once they call you and you're just talking about something you're passionate about and love,
Yeah.
you go way over 15 minutes. So you look,
Uh-huh. Trust me, I do it all the time.
yeah, you're like it's past an hour and it's like now where you say you owe me $100.
It's like you go from a 15-minute call to a whole hour and a half because, as you said, you're passionate about the topic. You can just keep talking for days
Yeah,
and they're just soaking it up. And that they're not going to tell you to stop talking. Of course
yeah,
not. Yes, I've experienced that too. You are not alone. Okay. It is a struggle. So time management has
yeah,
been something that you've had to deal with, which is good. So you notice that as you're working for your corporate job, there's certain things that you can incorporate in your at-home business, which is
yeah.
really good. I love that. So let's talk about the trial and error process. We know that building a business can often be a trial and error process. Could you share a mistake that you made and the lessons that you learned from it?
I think the biggest mistake is thinking that I can do it on my own.
Oh god, yeah.
It's just like, I got it, I got it. You try to take on,
Mhm.
but I think the learning process is that you need a team in place.
Yeah,
This year, tax season was the first year that I ever hired someone to like help me prepare
good.
taxes. And it was such a relief to just send that information over. You do this. Once it's done, I send it back. And I think that was the biggest error and such a relief this year, knowing that you have to put a team in place.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
big.
that I do want to expand more, have someone, have an assistant, have
Mhm.
someone doing all this different stuff because I can't do everything on my own. I was
Right.
a full-time entrepreneur. I think that is like extremely hard. Like you just drain yourself out at the end of the day that you don't even care about the money no more.
Yeah. Listen, burnout is real. It really is. And like you said, you don't care about anything. You just wanna sleep.
Yeah, it's like sometimes people be like, "I'll pay you this for." I'm like, I am tired.
Yeah,
I used to
for
when I was
sure.
doing taxes. I think last year by myself, like I'll do a cutoff, like because the last day for tax season always around like
Mm,
8. And I'm like, oh no, by like the end of March, I'm stopping.
no more clients. Yeah.
I'm tired. Like it's not.
Yeah. Listen, I get it because I call around maybe the day before the tax day, the day before, always, every year. I call my CPA. I'm like, I think tax day is tomorrow. You got room for one more?
Oh,
Like,
it's
no.
and you know they're your regulars, so you're texting them
Yeah.
like, "Are you coming this year?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'm still getting everything together." That you want to spend that last day from basically like new people that you just never faced it with.
Yeah.
There's always your regulars, and I'm like, I have this one client,
Mhm.
the same thing every year. I'm like, I love you, I really do, but stop it.
But it's because they trust you. It's like they put so much trust in your skill set that they know you got it. So you can't get offended at it, but it's like, dang, the last minute?
Yeah,
Come on. I'm not superwoman. I try to be, but I'm not. So yeah, it can be a lot. At this point, he files for an extension way before I even come to him because he knows what's up. I'm not coming on time. I might see you next year. It's that bad. Like, I get so overwhelmed with my business, I have to focus on my own taxes. How do you do that? Do you do your taxes first, or do you have someone else do your taxes? How do you do your taxes?
I kind of do mine in the middle. Like I don't do it when
Okay.
it's first time because, of course, I feel like a lot of people who have kids, like they
Mhm.
go first. When I prepare my tax, of course, it's like single with my business, so it's not like I'm getting a whole lot back. So it's not
Right.
so important to me. Like in the middle, absolutely. Probably sometime in the middle of the night, I wake up. I feel like when you're running a business, like your mind is always like thinking.
Always on go. Yes. That's what took me so long to I woke up late because I didn't go to sleep till 3 o'clock because I'm thinking about things for my business.
Yeah,
Just go to sleep, girl.
it's so hard. It's like you cannot sleep.
Yes, it is terrible. So, about that, could you share some of your future plans for All Tax Association? How do you see it growing and evolving?
I'm hoping for next year, fingers crossed, not just a tax office, but I want a big accounting firm. I want to be able to hire more people and just have a really big office where you can get your taxes done, like other accounting things like bookkeeping,
Yeah.
possibly how to start a business and run your business credit, just kind of everything that falls under like accounting. That's what I'm hoping for.
That's good. So, from your perspective, what does it mean to scale a business the right way? Can you give some examples from your own business? How have you scaled?
I think the scale of business the right way is to, of course, learning from you is make sure you have a trademark.
Yeah, big.
We wouldn't have never known about that and know that like someone could just come take your business, of course.
Yeah, for sure. That's huge. You have to protect your business. In order for you to scale up, it has to be protected because if you don't, the more eyes that have access to your business, the bigger the opportunity for them to steal those ideas and any intellectual property that you have in your business. So, yeah, as you are allowing other people to see and have access to your business, you need to protect it and protect all aspects of it. So, yeah, that is true.
I think
So,
another good important thing too as well is as far as like scaling up. When I first started the business world, I was so excited to share everything with everyone around me, tell everything. And I think now the more I involved in the business, it's more kind of keep it between yourself. Write
mhm,
because I do a lot of research on Google and stuff, but just write it down. And if
yeah,
you believe that it's not, of course, talk with God about it and just move forward, just try it. And
yeah,
then once you started, then you can tell others like I did this. If it don't,
mhm.
it's fine. If it do, it's amazing. They may say one little thing that'd be like that steer you away, and oh, maybe I shouldn't do this.
And you got to be mindful of who you talk to about your business because people will try to steer you away. I told you before this call, someone told me I was dumb for starting my business straight out of law school. And I'm what, close to 9 years in. So you have to believe in yourself before other people will believe in you. Because what they're doing is projecting their fears onto you. They don't really believe that they can do it, but that has nothing to do with you. That's between them and God. Okay. What you know is that you have all of the skills to build a successful business. So why not give it a try, right?
Yeah,
And if you fail, what do you lose? You have the experience behind that. What has been your most satisfying moment in business so far and why?
I think my most satisfying moment is when I finally did more than 50 clients. I
Mhm.
think that was really satisfying to know that I can be able to do that many people and just marketing on my own, basically. People telling other people and just providing great customer service. I think that's my most satisfying moment. That's when it's not so more about, oh, I don't, it's not about the money. It's just like making sure like people happy
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the service and getting their taxes, of course, having their money. So I think that's my most satisfying moment.
I love that because you look around and you're like, wait, hold on. People really rock with me and they trust me. Like I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Right? Because we suffer insecurities, imposter syndrome all of the time. We're like, am I doing enough? Am I doing this right? You often compare yourself to your peers. And in reality, you're probably miles ahead of the game. And instead of looking back and seeing what the next person is doing and comparing yourself to other people's success, you need to compare yourself to your last version of you. 'Cause
Yes.
I'm pretty sure she's proud of you
Yeah.
because we go through evolutions of ourselves over time. And this season of you, I'm pretty sure the last season of you is damn girl, you killing it.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at
So
it.
that's the way they look at it. Don't look at other people, look at what you're doing. So I want to talk about how we met. I know that wasn't on our list of questions, but we met at the Power Brunch, right? So tell me about your experience at the Power Brunch. Tell me about how it was winning the prize that you won. Let's talk about that. Let's first talk about your experience at the Power Brunch.
It was really the most amazing experience for me, and I think why it's because I go there to party.
Yep.
I was like, I love lit. It's the only place I can go in Tampa. They got the real good hookah, and you're just gonna have a good time. I love the workers. It's just a place where I go to party. So when I seen that they had the Power Brunch too, I was like, oh wow, this is where I got to go and show I got a business at a place I party.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was a really great experience, I think, going. And then when we was in there, everything that like people was going through is explaining like starting a business, and everything. I was
Mhm.
like, oh, I know this. You kind of sit back, and you like, oh, I know this already. I know this already. And then when I heard trademark, I'm like, oh wait, I was like all tuned in then. And so I was just excited that I got picked on, where I was picked to come up there and talk about it and get selected for it.
That's huge. A lot of people don't know about trademarks. I don't know if you know this, but on the stage, I offered that up at that in that moment because my heart felt so full seeing all of the give backs, and she was donating to Middleton. They were giving scholarships for LLCs, everything. And I was like, I want to give back too. Because I haven't had the opportunity to be out in a while because of COVID, and I broke my ankle. So I was man down for the whole year. Right. So that was like one of my very first times out publicly speaking again. So I wanted to give back and show the community that, listen, we need trademarks. We need to protect our business. And I'm so glad that you won it.
Yes.
And we're close to the end with your process. I know it's so long ago, which was like last year. And a lot of people don't realize that trademarks take such a long time to process. It's insane. We're dealing with the federal government. We can't rush them. They're on their own timeline. But after this, you will have a federally registered trademark. How does that even feel knowing that?
It feels really amazing. I think it gives me more of a confident,
Yeah.
business is trademark. I work so hard.
Yes.
I have a lawyer on my side that I can talk with.
Yes.
So even when we
Always.
a couple months ago, and he was explaining that for me to get a business address, having a business address was important, and
Yeah.
you made that clear for me and really helped. So I don't think this is going to be the end of it. Once I get my trademark, goodbye. I definitely see us doing a lot more together. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that journey of meeting you, and I'm so pleased to know that you did offer that up, and I was the one that was selected for this opportunity.
I'm really glad that you got it. This is going to be amazing for you. When you get the trademark, can't nobody take anything from me. This is mine. Like federally throughout the entire United States, can't nobody use this name.
Yeah.
That is privilege. Like you can't sit here unless you pay me. Okay. Yes. So, final question. If you could go back and give one piece of advice to your younger self just starting out on this journey, what would it be and why?
I think it would be to believe in yourself. The reason why is because I feel like if I would have believed in myself, like back in 2016, I'll be way further than I am. Like, I already have an office, I already have employees. I didn't really believe in myself like I believed in other corporations. That's kind of why
Mhm.
I leaned on being a full time employee versus having building my own corporation. I think it was just more so like after a lot of rejections from trying to get the job I wanted is
Yeah.
what inspired me to give myself more than the corporate someone else corporation. So if I can turn back, or if for someone that's listening that want to start their own, of course they always say starting out an entrepreneur is hard, but just believe in yourself. Just
Yeah.
go 100% in. Don't think about the money. Don't think about nothing around you. Just give it all. Just give it your all, because you receive what you put in.
Yeah, you really do.
Just give it your all. I think. So I think that's what I
Yeah.
would turn back and tell my younger self.
That was good advice. And we have to. Sometimes we forget who we are, right? And our skill set. And we need to boss up and tell ourselves, we got this. I got this. And we're going to be okay. So I love that you've given that advice. We certainly need to be more confident in who we are and being okay with showing up as ourselves 100%. So I want to ask one more question. Do you have any advice for work life balance for folks that want to do start their business, of course, while doing the full-time thing? How do you manage? We've spoken about how specifically you manage, but how do you suggest other people manage their time?
You have to write everything out. or basically typed up on a computer. I actually, what was, I want to say 2019, I was a full time employee. I was, of course, had my own business and I was a full time student and also
Mhm.
doing an internship at the Stratton Center for 20 hours a week,
Oh,
which I still look back, I'm like, how did I do it? But I laid out a schedule. I created this whole schedule for myself that I'm gonna wake up at 4:30. I'm gonna go to the gym at 5 a.m.
oh my gosh.
Leave the gym, get dressed. I have to run to USF by 8 p.m. Have class. I had to kind of go in there already, know what I'm gonna do. But I wasn't gonna be in class the whole time. It was just
Yeah.
impossible. So I was like, kind of go in there, get all I gotta do, all my work, and then I'm about to zoom over to my internship. Then I did my internship all the way until I want to say 12:30, and then I'll have to be to work before 1 o'clock for my full time job. It's
Oh my
12
God.
basic, but like before 1 o'clock. And I think it's just more of I had to lay out a schedule and it's like
Yeah.
you leave times in there in the schedule for like very odd moments or it's something may happen like 30 minutes, let's just say a whole bunch of traffic or something like that. And just knowing what's something you move around. Yeah, I don't have to go to the gym
Mhm.
today, but I gotta make it work.
Yeah.
Or if it's something where it's I may have a client and they just want to meet with me that day at this time and it's like now I need to use PTO at work, so it's kind of had to be lenient with my vacation time. Don't just use it just because. Save it for those emergency moments. So I think that more of a balance is just having a plan, type it out or write it out, and you just have to follow it. And if it's something that you just absolutely cannot do, it's okay. Like just say no.
Yeah.
I
I love
just
that because that's big. Say no
yeah.
and be okay with that. Just don't tell people that you can do something if you don't have the capacity to do it, if you're overwhelmed, just say no.
Because I struggled with that at first, and then I was like, once I had my plan, I'm like, no. Because if you
Right.
say you think about it, then people upset. They're gonna keep. It's just like no.
Yeah. That's good. And that makes you reliable because people can lean on your word. If you say no, you mean it.
Yes.
No, that's it. Okay. Final question, and I will let you go. What projects are you working on? And also tell us about your social media. Where can we find you? All of that.
For my social media, it was like my personal page is like
Mhm.
Rich Star with two R's.
Mhm.
777. I started a new Instagram page. It's supposed to be like my corporate Instagram page. It's called I Am Daquisha,
Okay.
my first name. And on that page, that's where I started like another little business adventure where I was helping people with starting their business, letting them know instead of just starting like with a DBA, like I did at first, you can kind of just start right out with your LLC or corporation and continue to add on DBAs to it, how to get your EIN, what business accounts to get, how to start your net 30s, what business or credit cards are more lenient than others may
Yeah.
be. Because a lot of people also think that when you are getting credit cards, they think that by saying you pay a lot in rent, it makes you look good and actually hurt you.
A high bill.
Yeah.
Right.
So it just helped walking them through that process. I'm hoping to start it back a few months. Right now, I'm on a 6 months journey where I just want to give it my all where I'm for my business.
Yeah.
And then probably like after my journey is up, then I'll start back with helping others. And hopefully I can bring more people on the team to continue to help others and just start this big organization.
I love that. I love that. That's really good. Okay. And do you have a website? Let them know what your website is.
Yes, it is www.alltaxassociation.com. On my website, it does allows for you to book like one-on-one consultation. So if it's ever something where you just absolutely really need help, or you can definitely reach out and just you book on my calendar. It's still open, of course. Or you can always just reach me. I do have a business phone number on there. Of course, I got the help and support from you. So the journey is going, and I appreciate anyone that's watching, and I look
Yes.
forward to hearing from you and getting new clients.
Yes. So, you guys, you heard her. Check her out on social media. Check her website out. Please connect with Miss Bullock because she is certainly accepting new clients. Thank you so much for joining us. I truly appreciate you. I know that we had so many scheduling conflicts, but we are here today, and I am grateful that we've been able to record this. And I will be publishing this very soon.